Voter integrity has become a political firestorm since the 2016 election. Former President Donald Trump's unfounded accusations in 2020 of election fraud created even a more violent response at the Capitol January 6. Now, the Fresno County Clerk's office is taking every election complaint seriously as they're expecting record turnout for this midterm. The Fresno County Clerk, James Coos, joins me now back here on Sunday Morning Matters, probably the busiest man I know in Fresno County. How are you, sir?
It's a pleasure, Alex.
Thanks for the time. All right, let's start with this. Your first general election, this is it for you right here. Where's your level of anxiety right now?
Fairly low. We're on top of this, ready to go. We've had a great showing from the Fresno community support, and we've got our staff ready and out there and serving the public. So now we're waiting for the public to come and vote.
All right, vote by mail. It's all, you know, we've had ballots from our mailbox for some weeks now. But voter turnout when it comes to mail by vote is not really maybe where you expected it to be. Not a whole lot of votes coming in.
We're a little behind right now. Now, historically, we do get a large amount of vote by mail on election day as well, maybe even just as many as we've had already. You combine that with our in-person election day voting, and we can get a pretty good turnout.
What's the expectation? We're a little, Fresno County, a little less than 500,000?
That's right. We're right at 500,000 registered voters. Historically, a gubernatorial general election like this one has about a 50% turnout. We're looking a little on the low side of that, but I do hope that we'll get there.
Even with so much at stake? This is on the low side, huh?
It's on the low side. We've had a lot of elections over the last 18 months, so there may be a little bit of burnout.
I think a lot of voters, they look at election night, and it's not what it used to be, where we almost see those instant gratification numbers rolling in. What's this, when it comes to results, what are we going to see Tuesday night? And then how much in between will the count be? Because as you had already told me, Veterans Day is coming up. That kind of puts a snafu in things a little bit.
It does take away one of our work days. We will report all vote by mail ballots that we have received through or before election day at 8 p.m. on election night. So that first reporting there is going to be all of those early vote by mail ballots. Then throughout the night we'll put up at least 2 more updates of our in-person voting. But we're still, as you mentioned, going to have a lot of VBM ballots to process after the election that have been received on election day or through the post office after that if they were postmarked by election day.
You know, this week you warned of voter fraud and intimidation. It will be handled and turned over to the DA's office if there is any of that going on. One complaint made, from what I understand. How many complaints to this point, to your knowledge?
So we've only had a couple complaints, secondhand reportings of potential intimidation situations, and we've gone out to check, and there hasn't been anything that we've been able to follow up with right now. We are always interested in following up and investigating election fraud, and so voters, citizens need to inform us, need to inform the DA's Public Integrity Unit, and if you're feeling intimidated while voting or going to the polls or a drop box, you can also contact the Sheriff's Department.
Can you assure voters, you could talk to them obviously right now because they're listening and they're watching, their ballot. You know, there's this narrative out there, a false one, but it's out there. Voter security, voter integrity, Fresno County. Ironclad?
Pretty darn close to that. So there is always going to be a little bit of risk there because the ballot is in the voter's hands. And until the voter returns it to me through the post office, through one of our drop boxes, by delivering it in person to one of our vote centers, I don't have control over it. So there is a point where the voter is responsible for their own ballot. And that's a point that I can't control and I can't guarantee.
We have seen voter guides in a dumpster, I believe. And also there have been even some of my friends that say, I didn't receive my ballot in the mail.
If you haven't received your ballot in the mail, give us a call. 559-600-VOTE, 8683, and we'll try and help you out. For most voters, we're actually going to direct you to vote in person at this point, but it also gives us an opportunity to see maybe why you didn't get your ballot in the mail. We've been very aggressive with our voter registration maintenance programs over the last 2 years. And there are quite a few voters out there who we've mailed items to and had a bounce back. And that means you would be inactive and not receiving a vote by mail that you might be expecting, but there may be an issue with your address.
All right. James Coos, we'll see you next week with the latest numbers.
It'll be a pleasure.
Appreciate the time.